Hey there, this is Alex, and this is how I would book the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match that is happening in just a couple hours, in fact. Yeah, I had to wait a little bit because they just kept announcing more and more people, and I had to keep adjusting my list. But hey, better late than never. So we're getting this out here, starting off first with a little bit of admin here. I'm not gonna even bother touching the women's rumble. That's its whole separate bit. Although I do think that Charlotte Flair is gonna win that. As for the tag match, I'm gonna have Motor City Machine Guns win that match, which then could start some dissension within DIY to then turn into another Mania feud going forward, kind of like what happened at NXT. Then for the undisputed WWE Championship, I want Cody to win this match clean and quickly. Now, the main reason for this is that I still want to have Kevin Owens have energy. I don't want him to be beaten within an inch of anything. He needs to still have energy to keep going. Is he in my Rumble? No, he's not. But he will be important in the Rumble. You'll see why later. As we get started with entrant number one. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's go! It's Sami Zayn. Looking back at the pop that he got at last year's WrestleMania from the number 30 spot, give him the full entrance to the full Lucas Oil Stadium crowd. That's going to be amazing. Plus the fact that he has done so much over the last year, I think I can feel confident putting him in the Shawn Michaels spot. But as he gets comfortable in the ring, then you hear the next entrant. Whoa, it's Seth freaking Rollins. As Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins have had a bit of a beef for the last little bit here because of the whole bloodline stuff, as well as the kick that hit Rollins accidentally, mind you. But no one knows whether or not it was an accident or not. Sami Zayn's been adamant that it was, but we shall soon see. Rollins and Zayn are now in the ring as the match officially starts. They have a brief stare down, kind of talk and nod for a sec before just start wailing on each other. One of the stories I want for this Rumble is Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn. They're going to have a tug of war that's basically going to be going across most of the match here. So they're started off here as we get ready now for number 3, Penta, who made his re-debut on Raw, comes down to the ring, immediately tries to get between Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins, and both of them turn on Penta here and start beating him down. Not eliminated, but showing the story here that Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins are willing to work together if it means that they can get back to resolving what they need to resolve. Because remember, in WWE, there's only one way to truly resolve your problems. It is by fighting. So, with that being said, after a little bit of this, now we see number 4, Andrade, come down to the ring. So now we have 2 luchadors as Andrade comes in and will work with Penta here. And now Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins will kind of do a makeshift tornado tag team match here against Penta and Andrade. Here, just for a little bit here, just until we get to the next entrance here with 2 luchadors in the ring. You know it's time for my man Chad Gable to come down at number 5, talking about a conspiracy with all the luchadors all being out to get him. And as soon as he gets into the ring, he goes after Penta and Andrade, and Penta and Andrade then go after him, leaving Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins to go after, again, each other. Again, and that's kind of the main bit of the story so far, is that Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins, they'll interact in the Rumble at times, but really it's them doing this tug of war. Who is going to be the one that stands tall between the two of them? Which then now that leads to entrant number 6. Another luchador, it's Rey Mysterio, comes down and joins up with Penta and Andrade on this beatdown against Chad Gable. And one thing I really want to make sure we're making clear here, Chad Gable is definitely eating finishers. He's definitely getting hit, but he's also weaseling his way out of a lot of other bigger hits. He's able to still put up his own offense. Remember, he is still an Olympic proficient wrestler. Give him a little bit just of his due. Not just his, that's a different phrase. But give him his due on this. He knows how to fight his way out of a pile. As now that'll bring up number 7 in NXT call-up, Trick Williams, who's been dominating in NXT, but also I just want to hear the full stadium go, whoop that trick, whoop that trick, I like it, whoop that trick. So when Trick Williams comes down, he's going to help out Chad Gable at the verse of going against the Luchadors. Here, not for any heel face reason, just that he sees that it's a full-on assault at this point. Doesn't want to get in between Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Saw what happened to Penta and Andrade. And sees that, there's an imbalance. Hey, go out here and help out with a numbers game. So he works on Rey Mysterio, works on Andrade and Penta, as now we get ready for entrant number 8. It's Kofi Kingston, the first of the New Day, coming into the Rumble. And he's also going to join up here with Trick Williams and with Chad Gable going against Luchadors, more because he's mad at Rey Mysterio after Rey beat his brother Xavier on last week's Raw. And during this time, Kofi Kingston actually eliminates Rey Mysterio. The first elimination of the Rumble is right here. So with Kofi Kingston eliminating Rey Mysterio, we now get to number 9 here in Dominic Mysterio, who is just laughing. He has the biggest smile as the boos rain down on him. And he has that slow walk down the ramp here, but he doesn't get into the ring. No, that'd be too easy. He goes over to where Rey is laying on the ground after his elimination and just starts beating down on Rey Mysterio, continuing on this story. But he's never going to miss a chance for a cheap shot on his dad. Why would he? And that's now going to get the ire of Trick Williams. Now that the numbers game is at least a little bit more manageable, he knows that Mysterio might join in a different way. So he's going to go after Dominic Mysterio himself and will toss him into the ring, as Mysterio and Williams will have their spot, as now number 10 will make it into the ring. Yeah, it's LA Knight, who's also had problems with Dominic Mysterio, so especially after LA Knight's had stuff going on with Rey Mysterio over the last few years. So LA Knight comes down and immediately just books it for Dominic Mysterio. Doesn't have any reason yet to go after Kofi Kingston yet, but he's going to just have a bit of fun going after and punishing Dominic Mysterio, hits him with a BFT. So now we get to number 11. It's Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes announced himself for the Rumble as well. So he's coming in here and he's going to then take Trick Williams here away from Dominic here. And they're going to have their own spot here. Again, just big athletic dudes going right at it. As now that'll bring up number 12. My first of the destroyers of this Rumble. It's Jacob Fatu. The ring is getting pretty full right now, with the only elimination right now being currently Rey Mysterio. So we got to change a couple things on that. He comes in, and as we saw during Saturday night's main event, he cares about one thing: punishing. And he's going to start clearing house first, goes after Penta, and eliminates Penta. Chad Gable sees this and is like, okay, cool, he's on my side. Lol, no. Hooves Chad Gable over the top rope. Andrade now is standing there, is like, hey, I got nothing to do with this. Hooves Andrade over the top rope. So right now, that is 3 quick eliminations here for Jacob Fatu, who is just on this war path from the word go. Then sees Dominic Mysterio after the offense from LA Knight, and then eliminates Dominic Mysterio. So now we've cleared out a good bit of the ring as we get ready for number 13. As number 13 comes out, it is Xavier Woods. So now Kofi Kingston has a little bit of backup here overall. So with Dominic Mysterio now recently out and the ring being very fresh cleared out, Xavier Woods comes down here to pair alongside Kofi Kingston, sees Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins, and is like, you know what, they're doing their thing. They see Jacob Fatu, and are like, okay, we can't go on to that. So they look to LA Knight. Here at LA Knight, he's been working alongside with a few others, but it's not going to help him here as he is double teamed by both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, as Kofi then gets the Trouble in Paradise and eliminates LA Knight. So now the only people that are still in the ring, still in the Rumble, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Trick Williams, Kofi Kingston, Jacob Fatu, and Carmelo Hayes. Here, and Xavier Woods. And while this is all going on again, right now, Jacob Fatu has taken a bit of a breather, but he's mostly just prowling. Again, a werewolf does still have to make it work right. So after that, we now have number 14 coming to the ring. It's Shinsuke Nakamura. And this is truly what gets Jacob Fatu focused in this Rumble. And I don't mean that in a good way. Nakamura, the United States champion, is going to have the belt, and Fatu is going to zero in on that belt. Sees who's wearing it, sees it's Shinsuke. Shinsuke will take it off before he gets into the ring. But as he does, Fatu immediately is going to go after him, and Nakamura is just going to dodge out of the way. Not even land a blow. Just get out of the way of it. As he sees that now Fatu is gunning in on him, Nakamura concocts a plan where Jacob Fatu is reckless and aggressive. Shinsuke is cold and calculating. He uses this to his advantage as he then gets in front of Carmelo Hayes, only to dodge out of the way from an attack from Fatu that eliminates Carmelo Hayes from the Rumble. So technically the elimination goes to Fatu, but really the assist should go to Shinsuke Nakamura. But with that being said, now we get to see what is Shinsuke doing across the Rumble. Does he continue to use this to go against others? Probably should, but instead, Jacob Fatu sees what he did, and now he's going after purely Nakamura, who is near the ropes, gets out of the way, lowers the top rope as Jacob Fatu goes over the top rope under his own power, here as he is now eliminated. And after Fatu goes over the top rope, right now Shinsuke Nakamura is basically at the ropes because he was already there for it, as he's going to get tag teamed right now by both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods when entrant 15 comes out. Oh, Indianapolis! Don't you dare be sour. Big E makes his debut, his return to WWE after years and years. And he, Xavier Woods, I'm getting emotional a little bit thinking about it, but Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston just look in shock and in anger as Big E comes down the ring. He has that angry and focused face of his that as he does not leave the gaze of both Kofi and Xavier here. But he gets into the ring as both of them now go away from Shinsuke Nakamura, finds his way over to the side to give himself a breath after eliminating Fatu. There. Big E has the stare down here with both Kingston and Woods, where Woods looks at him and says, "You shouldn't have come back. We're better without you." And he goes, "Is that so? All right." And will goozle Xavier Woods, lifting him up and will throw him out of the ring with one arm. Here, you really need to get a big spot here for E, especially if he is going to continue on this path that he is I think it's going to happen, where it's going to be a triple threat here at WrestleMania. Here, and with Xavier Woods out, now Kofi Kingston is looking like, no. And he's going to Big E is going to lift up Kingston and do the same move, throwing him over the rope here, but on the ground there. This is my Kofi save spot. Just letting y'all know. Kofi is going to land on a planted New Day Sucks t-shirt that was probably thrown on during Big E's entrance here, and will have one of his feet land on that shirt and will get himself back into the ring from there. As now we get ready for entrant number 16, some unfamiliar music maybe to some WWE fans. It's Josh Alexander, recently departed from TNA, here saying, I quit at Genesis. But we also still have the partnership between WWE and TNA, so obviously you're going to use that to get a little bit of surprises in the Rumble. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But Josh Alexander comes out here with the full headgear, and he's going to book it down to the ring. Here, first look is at Big E, as he's going to start mashing against Big E here, and then it's just going to turn into a bit of a scuffle that'll also give Kofi a little chance to regain his own momentum here, maybe get a little bit of rest in the process. But now it's time for entrant number 17. It's Mr. John Cena. A lot of people have John Cena as the number 30 entrant. I have a different idea. I think it should come out at 17 because he's going for his 17th world title. And if he wins this Rumble, he has a chance to do that at WrestleMania against probably going to be Cody Rhodes at that point. But he comes down to the ring here, and the first thing he sees is Big E, and seeing him get that return to the ring is going to give him a salute. After that, he's going to go around on the ring, see Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins off doing their thing, and again, has learned not to mess with it, just let them do their bit here. So next, seeing the respect that he has for Big E, is going to go after Kofi Kingston, is able to hit him down with a couple shoulder tackles, AAs him over the top rope. So Cena gets his elimination here as well. Here, as John looking already like he's going to be a powerhouse, he's already one of the odds-on favorites to win this thing. And as Cena continues on his path, meets up with Trick Williams, and Trick Williams tries to get his offense on Cena. It's a little bit successful for a few, but Cena able to take that offense, turns it into an AA over the top rope. So Trick Williams is now also eliminated. So with that being said, I think now it is about time we get ready for number 18, one of the first kind of comedy spots here. Hey, let's go! Pat McAfee comes into the Rumble. This time is told he's in the Rumble and actually has wrestling boots on here, or takes off his dress shoes to show that he has wrestling boots on, and heads over to the ring. This time it's a lot less full than the time that he was in the 2024 Rumble. So he comes in and mostly just goes over to Cena. If anything, is trying to smooth talk him a little bit to get onto the podcast for it. But one thing to make note is that as Pat McAfee goes in, Corey Graves is pissed. He's like, why is this clown going into the Royal Rumble? I'm still not even fighting, and I could go and beat his ass. Why is he in another? We saw what happened last year. Michael Cole's trying to calm him down as number 19 comes out. It's Corey Graves. He just goes, finally rips off the headset and storms to the ring and immediately just goes right to McAfee, rips him away from Cena, and just starts wailing on him. It's clear that Corey Graves has had his issues with Pat McAfee. This is him finally getting out some of that frustration because we've started to see it really boil over on social media here. So Corey Graves, after a little bit more of a beatdown on McAfee, will hoof Pat McAfee over the top rope. But at this point, it's not even going to be a full hoof. He's going to get him over, but Pat McAfee, I don't know if he can even take the bump at this point. So he's going to get him over the top rope and then just go run. And McAfee will okay. We'll jump over the top rope, getting eliminated. And so we give Corey Graves an elimination. I just want him to get a fun bit here. Come on, it's fun at this point. As now we get ready for the next entrant, number 20. It's Damian Priest. Damian Priest feels like he really should be more in the main event of a lot of stuff now. And at this point right now, you got to give him a solid spot. So he's coming in here at number 20 here because we still got a lot of big men in the Rumble. We still got Big E in the Rumble. John Cena is still in the Rumble. Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins have been resting for a good bit now at this point. But now we move on to number 21, one of the other big surprises. Someone said his name. It's Joe Hendry. Please, this is the spot. I need to see Hendry in the Rumble. the pop would destroy Indianapolis. I just need to see this. So as soon as the music hits, we take a look over to the ramp where Hendry is standing there, does his turn here, and then walks to the ring with the entire stadium cheering and shouting "We believe" here, along with the claps. And he gets into the ring, is back to the hard cam, and does the turn one more time before he locks eyes with John Cena. Joe Hendry's been calling out John Cena a lot on during interviews and other bits. He's talked before about his history with Cena and how he would love a match with him. So he sees his opportunity is right here. Might as well at least make him show that he's worth it here. But in the meantime, here Josh Alexander first then goes after Hendry after their feud back in TNA, and Hendry and Cena tag team on Josh Alexander and eliminate him over it. So before we actually even have any punches thrown between Hendry and Cena, the two have come together for a big elimination. That could be something fun going forward here. As now we get ready for entrant number 22. As the buzzer rings, the boos come down hard as it's Logan Paul who declared for the Rumble. If anyone who watched Raw, you know how much people really don't like Logan Paul. He says it makes him a great heel. No, just annoying. Anyway, regardless, different story here. So he comes down to the ring, and is his normal cocky self, but in a spot that happened a little bit ago. I believe it was actually, I don't know if it was last year's Rumble, it might have been, where he gets into the ring and everyone just looks him down. Here, Shinsuke is there, Big E is there, Josh Alexander's eliminated. Sorry about that, forgot about that part. Here, John Cena and Corey Graves, everyone is looking at him just like, oh, we're going to mess this kid up. But as everyone is staring down Logan Paul, the first one to finally make a move is Corey Graves, who goes after him, still in a bit of a blind rage after everything that's gone on with him at McAfee. And Logan Paul just simply does kind of the same thing that Nakamura did, lowers the top rope, and Graves goes over. So Corey Graves out of the Rumble and heads back over to the announcer's desk, where we're going to have some fun talk between him, Pat, and Cole here. But after Graves goes down, Paul's like, all right, anyone else want a piece of me? And everyone just rushes him. And he just gets a big beatdown as we get ready for entrant number 23, which causes everyone to stop. Bask in his glory. Keith Lee makes his return to WWE. Now, Lee has been out of action for a while with AEW. People speculate that his contract has ran out or expired. So now that Vince isn't calling things anymore, Triple H really liked Lee, as in basically everyone did. So let's bring him back into the WWE fold here as he makes his way. If Brock Lesnar can acknowledge that, this guy's a threat, everyone in the Rumble can do the exact same. As Keith Lee comes into the ring, he doesn't even need to ring, he just struts down to the ring. Logan Paul tries to take advantage of the confusion there, or at least of the distraction. Goes for Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry picks him up into a standing ovation over the top rope here. So now Logan Paul is eliminated. But this is before even Keith Lee has gotten into the ring. Keith Lee then sees Logan Paul and just does a little scoff and turn away from him, showing that you're not worth my time. But with now Keith Lee coming in, it's now time for a little bit more cleaning of the house. Here, as the first thing he does is he locks eyes once again with Shinsuke Nakamura, who thinks, okay, you know what? He's been out of action for a while. He's going to be rusty here. No, Keith Lee spirit bombs Shinsuke Nakamura over the top rope. Then Damian Priest comes in, trying to take advantage, seeing that, okay, this guy's a threat. Got to take advantage when he's done. Nope, use the same momentum and is able to pick up and toss Damian Priest over the top rope. So quick few eliminations already for Keith Lee, as now we get ready for the next entrant, number 24. Entrant number 24 is Bron Breakker, the Intercontinental Champion, comes down to the ring. We know that they're not exempt from the Rumble. We've seen Gunther come in twice now for it. But he comes down to the ring for a stare down with Keith Lee in what is, again, now a big meaty men's type of meets. Now with 100% more Big E, as Big E comes in on this stare down, and we just get the big boys, big but quick boys attack onslaught as the three of them just go nuts. And it's not done here, as number 25 comes out. It's Omos. So Omos has actually been proving himself pretty well in Japan, and as already said, he's coming back to WWE. So it's pretty guaranteed that he's going to be in the Rumble, and I'm hoping that he does a little better than he normally does, instead of just being, how do you get Omos over the top rope? Which, by the way, how do you get Omos over the top rope? My over-under is still at 3.5. Let me know in the comments whether or not you're taking the over or the under. So, with that being said, here Omos comes down to the ring and joins up with the big boys, but quick boys, but he still towers over them. Like, you take all of those big guys, Omos is just in a different league, but that does not mean that he is invulnerable, as the first thing that he does here is he eliminates Big E. Like, Big E tries any sort of offense he can get. Omos just goozles and shoves Big E to the top, hits him with another move to knock him to the ground, and then picks up Big E here and basically takes him over the top rope, kind of unconscious, but still sane and all that. Puts him down here, basically so that he just hits ground, is like feet first onto the bottom, looks at Big E and just goes, tapping the back of his neck. Yeah, just a bit of a cheeky spot, plus gives Omos a little bit of character there too. But with that, now we have a real threat. If we're seeing Omos do this kind of stuff here, where he's actually showing that power, you're going to have to figure out some stuff. And this is where Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins really kind of enter back into the fray of everything, where we see, okay, we've got to do something about this. So everyone kind of comes together, kind of an Avengers Assemble type idea. Joe Hendry goes after Omos, just starts getting some offense here before he's eventually knocked down. Then John Cena here is able to knock him down with a shoulder tackle, then hits him with the 5-knuckle shuffle, getting him onto the ground as he started to get back up. Not Cody Rhodes, that'd be insane. Seth Rollins comes back in and hits him with the curb stomp. Cena then picks up Omos, throws him into the corner for Sami Zayn to hit a haluva kick that will then knock Omos out of the ring in probably one of the biggest spots of the night here, as Zayn gets his first elimination. And it's not Seth Rollins, it's Omos with a big kick. That now brings us to entrant number 26. As the next entrant is Sheamus, who beelines down to the ring, his eyes fully set here on Bron Breakker, still trying to chase that Intercontinental Championship, which will probably be a thing at Mania. Let's hope so. But he comes down and immediately starts working over Bron Breakker here. And this kind of offense, he's like, everything Bron Breakker has gone right now has not been that huge, but Sheamus just comes with this completely out of nowhere aggressiveness and eliminates Bron Breakker with a brogue kick. Like, at this point right now, Bron Breakker has already proven how strong he is, but you need to power up Sheamus just a little bit more if you want to make it even a believable chance that he could win at Mania. So Breakker is eliminated by Sheamus, and after a big Celtic scream, he turns around and is face to face with John Cena. Here, as the two of them have a stare down going all the way back to the 2010s. Their WWE Championship feuds, even going back to the Raw on Strike episode, for people that remember that one. Go watch it. It's fun. as the two of them get into it, and Sheamus is then eliminated by John Cena, who Cena able to get the better of that advantage, telling him, I still got it. After that, so Sheamus now is eliminated as we get ready for entrant number 27. It's Jey Uso. The Yeet chants will be incredible in Indianapolis. Yeetanapolis? You know what I mean. Indianapolis here as he comes down to the ring, and he's looking for anyone that he could kind of just try and tag with at this point, because it's really not been any big play. It haven't been any real big players in this right now that he feels he can tag up with. I'm not even saying big players as in he can't be with them. It's almost like who wants to be with Jey Uso at this moment with the people that are still in the ring, which right now, just for a quick review, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, John Cena, and Jey Uso now. Yeah, so we still got a good amount of people to come into this Rumble here. Still a little bit of star power hinted, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But on there, he comes in, and at this point, he's looking after Sami Zayn. Because, again, Bloodline friends, and that goes into Seth Rollins here, as Seth Rollins then sees Jey Uso and is just as mad and gets a quick elimination. Jey Uso is out of the Rumble by way of Seth Rollins here. Comes out of nowhere to hit a curb stomp and a throw over. As, look, I love Jey Uso, and I really want him to keep getting powered up here, but this is not the spot for him. Just, you got to keep powering him up, though. Not here, though. So he is now eliminated here by Seth Rollins. Just adding something to my notes here. My apologies. Here, as now we get ready for number 28, it's Drew McIntyre. McIntyre's had issues with a lot of people that are in the ring right now, including one Mr. Sami Zayn, not to mention also Seth Rollins, not to mention also John Cena. So this is already turning out for an easy bit. He comes out and immediately starts targeting Sami Zayn, who is worn down after a long battle with Seth Rollins, as Seth is now a little bit distracted after the elimination. He then sees Sami Zayn alone and goes to eliminate Sami, throws him over the top rope, when underneath the ring coming out is Kevin Owens, who catches Sami Zayn. Go back to Smack, I think it was Saturday Night's Main Event, yeah, or Raw, one of the two, where he said, I promise you I'm going to win my match, and you're going to win the Rumble. I will make sure of it. This is what he meant. He's going to try and protect Sami, who looks almost angry that he got protected by Kevin Owens. We're building to a Kevin Owens v. Sami Zayn match at Mania, again, which, to be fair, I will watch that forever. Those two men can fight forever for all I care. And so he gets back into the ring here. And at that point, Kevin Owens goes into the ring, sees that his biggest rival right now is Seth Rollins, and eliminates Seth Rollins. Kevin Owens gets an elimination in the Royal Rumble while not being an entrant here. So at that point now, Sami's like, what the hell are you doing? What the hell? Like, I'm trying to win this on my own. And he goes, why would you want to win it on your own when you've got me? I'm here to help you out. And now the two of them start hockey fighting. And they're like, I can't do this. If you're going to keep doing this, I can't have that happen. And Sami Zayn symbolically eliminates Kevin Owens off the top rope. But he's not in the Rumble, so it doesn't honestly matter at that point until entrant number 29 comes out. It's Roman Reigns, who comes down here, and as he takes that slow walk, Kevin Owens just starts spouting off more about the bloodline, more about everything, and Roman Reigns just grabs Kevin Owens and does not say a word, but just tosses him off to the side here. And now Kevin Owens is out of it for now. Going back a little bit to Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, multi-feuds. They've had a lot at this point. So, with that being said, I said at this point 3 times now. So, Roman enters into the ring here, and the whole dynamic is shifted after now Seth Rollins has already been eliminated. Another quick update here. We have Sami Zayn still in the Rumble. Next up, we still have Joe Hendry still. I don't know how he's made it this far, but good for him. Keith Lee is still in the Rumble, as well as now McIntyre and Reigns. So we are really, we're pretty thin here as we only have a couple entrants left. So after that, now Roman Reigns comes in and he's going to start clearing out a little bit more here. As the first thing he does, he's going to target one Mr. Keith Lee and eliminates one Mr. Keith Lee, going back to a match they had way back during Survivor Series, where Keith Lee almost beat Roman Reigns here for the Survivor Series NXT match there. While this is going on now, we have both Joe Hendry and John Cena having another one of us, like having a full stare down here, and the two of them start fighting here, and eventually it does end with Cena getting the better of Joe Hendry and eliminating Joe. But he still had a good performance out here, and it's going to set up for potentially a Joe Hendry versus John Cena match along this retirement tour. To be fair, I just really want to see that here. But now we get ready for entrant number 30. The ring is pretty empty now at this point. Entrant number 30. CM Punk gets the number 30 entrant as Cult of Personality hits, and everyone goes absolutely nuts on it. Commentary team is talking about, did he use the favor from Paul Heyman to get the number 30 spot in the Rumble? People are speculating that's what's going on here. But it comes down to the ring and locks eyes. We now have all 30 entrants in the Royal Rumble here, as CM Punk comes in and immediately has the stare down with Roman Reigns, as Roman outright asks him, "Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted?" Punk doesn't respond. He just shakes his head here. In my storyline with this, by the way, just for a little bit of transparency, this is not the favor from CM Punk. This is a reward that he was given for having, honestly, one of the best 2024s and some of the best feuds that this company has had in a bit. So he gets the number 30 spot here. And the first thing he does is just kind of looks out here at who's left, sees Sami Zayn there. He sees John Cena, and it's John Cena that catches his eye. He just kind of chuckles. I love it, going like, oh man, memories. And is going to go after John Cena. But as soon as he's about to throw that first punch, he catches a look of Drew McIntyre. And is like, hold on one moment. And goes to Drew and just starts wailing here on him before Sami Zayn comes in after CM Punk has set up Drew McIntyre here. Set up Drew McIntyre. Sami Zayn will hit the Helluva Kick on Drew McIntyre, eliminating him, as Punk now looks at Sami a bit oddly like, hey, that was my elimination. And he goes, I know, I wanted him out just as much as you did. And Punk is like, that was mine. I could have done that on my own. And he goes, I know you could have. I needed my lick in there too. And he's like, okay, you know what, fair enough. So the two of them kind of reconcile a little bit here until now we get a little bit further in here. Sami Zayn is still pretty out of, he's been in since number 1, well over an hour here, and John Cena is still pretty worn overall too. So with now Drew McIntyre, it really looks like it's either going to be Roman Reigns or CM Punk until the timer starts again. And we're like, wait, what's going on? We're at the final 4 now, but we already had 30 entrants. What's going on? The counter hits 0. If you smell, The Rock comes out at number 31 several minutes after entrant number 30 comes in. Everyone is confused. Everyone's like, what the hell is happening here? And he gets on the mic and says, this is my Rumble now. Like, I don't care. So I made sure that I'm going to win this. So basically, he used his executive powers kind of like he did during night one of WrestleMania 40. Here, he's using his executive powers to basically blackmail and threaten people to get what he wants, which is the number 31 spot. Here, as he comes down, down the ring, and everyone just looks at him angrily at this point. Sami Zayn is like, what the hell are you doing here? Roman Reigns is like, you really had to cheat to get to this point. CM Punk is just mad as well here. And Rock's like, I don't care what you think. I'm here and I'm going to win it. And he makes an example out of Sami Zayn by picking him up and putting him in the rock bottom before hoofing him over the top, eliminating Sami Zayn. And to get massive boos on the guy that's been the Iron Man throughout this entire way through, we are now down to Roman Reigns, CM Punk, The Rock, and John Cena, the mini match within a match. Kevin Owens wasn't able to save Sami Zayn, and now he's left for the final four, as now The Rock, Roman, Punk, and Cena all look at each other, and then the three look at The Rock and say, not this time. And they start beating up on the final boss before the final boss just strikes out of all of them. Going first here now for John Cena, here looks at him and says, you shouldn't. It's like remember last year? And he goes for a people's elbow on Cena here, followed up with a rock bottom, and eliminates John Cena. We're down 2-3. A lot of people had Cena as the winner of this, and I find it very apropos that it's The Rock who eliminates him, saving him maybe thrice in a lifetime. Please no. But I think that would be a fun little feud. But now, as he goes down, Roman Reigns and CM Punk look down The Rock, and CM Punk and Roman look at each other and have a nod of respect before Roman and Punk team up to take on The Rock. CM Punk able to hit, is able to get some offense in before Roman Reigns hits with a spear. CM Punk hits the go to sleep. Roman Reigns then picks him up and is able to throw The Rock over the top rope. We're down to 2, but it's the distraction right there that gives CM Punk what he needs, as he goes over to Roman, who just used every bit of his strength to take down The Rock, and he hoofs Roman Reigns over the top rope. CM Punk is your winner of the 2025 Royal Rumble match, as Cult of Personality blares. Roman Reigns here looks angry here back, as that he just got taken kind of advantage of there. But even more so as he looks back at The Rock. The Rock now fighting against Roman Reigns, saying, why the hell did you turn your back on me, on family? Here, as that's going to set up a Roman Reigns versus The Rock storyline at WrestleMania 41, which was apparently planned for WrestleMania 40, and then, better ideas happened. So, CM Punk is your winner, and he will go on to challenge Cody Rhodes at Mania, especially after that incredible promo on Raw. So, let's go over just some kind of stat predictions I have. My Iron Man for this match, Sami Zayn goes well over an hour. Most eliminations, only 5, as Jacob fought 2. The quickest eliminated, Pat McAfee, in for only about 150 seconds here. And Punk only has the 1 elimination in this, and it's the final elimination that wins it overall for him. But that's what I've got. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed, hey, give it a quick like and subscribe. So this is my first time. I've always wanted to do a fantasy bookie. I'm glad I finally just sat down and did it. If you're wondering what that logo has been in the top right-hand corner, that's the logo for my podcast. It's a baseball podcast, Losses Above Replacement. Go ahead and give us a check on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else you want to go from there. But thank you so much to all of you for listening. Stay safe, and I hope to see you all real soon.